Okay, you don't say 1, but you say 2 and 3 with me, and then you just say go. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, go. I don't know if that was on sync or not. Well, I guess this was a triumph, right? We got it working? Question mark?
I thought you were going to segue into a Portal song because you said this is a triumph, and that's the only thing I can think of when those words are said.
No.
Did you play Portal? Play both.
I did. I did. By the way, this episode's completely fucked. You will know by the end of the episode why.
Oh no. Are we cancelled already?
No, we're not cancelled.
We're cancelled!
You're gonna have a good laugh. Welcome to the Retrospective Collective Podcast, a video game podcast where we try to bring the past and present together through a leisurely talk show with gaming news from the past 2 weeks and retros on older games. I'm one of your hosts, Tristan.
And I'm your other host, Albert.
Tristan Jung, that's my name.
I was literally gonna say, I was like, did he just decide he wanted to go with first names again?
It just feels empty.
I almost want to bring up after we talk a little bit at the start and be like, by the way, audience, Tristan fucked this up 4 times.
So how was your 2 weeks? What'd you do?
I was on vacation and I played a lot of Breath of the Wild and played some woes and I watched anime. So that happened.
A typical.
How was your 2 weeks?
Typical gamer's life. Fairly uneventful 2 weeks. I think I just worked. That's about it. All the days kind of blend together. Oh, I know what I did. I worked on the fucking essay.
Ooh. Tell me about that.
For the last week. It's
sneak preview.
Sneak preview. It's actually almost done.
Ooh.
I got the first draft done. It's 5,000 words.
Oh god.
I'm running it through some grammar checkers right now. But
more than one?
Yeah, I pass all my shit through a lot of grammar checkers. But hopefully it'll be out in a week or two. There's a couple of
what? You're almost done and it's a week or two? Oh man, yeah. Okay. I guess we have busy lives.
Yeah. But yeah, that's us. Let's see what's been happening in the gaming world. Actually, first we need to add a little segment here. I guess we'll just call this fuck ups because we fucked up really hard. We talked about Blizzard suing some hack company.
Yes.
And I think we mentioned that they were the first ones to do so, but we lied. They were not the first ones to do so, and Albert found that out.
Yeah, so apparently the one we talked about last week was a lawsuit just beginning, and what we got here was League of Legends, the creators, or Riot Games, I guess, the creator of League of Legends, sued a cheating service a few years back, or about 2 years back, I think it was, and they won. So the cheating service now owes Riot Games $10 million, and yeah.
That's a lot of money. That's more than the Blizzard lawsuit, right?
I
think Blizzard was 8.
Yeah, it could have been 8. I think it was close. It was in the realm. So I don't know how they're doing it. I guess they're putting I think they had a similar in terms of the copyright infringement per user, I think is how they did it again. So essentially that's that. There was a previous case of cheat makers being sued, which is all good fun for us normal playing players who don't want to have to deal with cheaters. It's a step forward in the right direction.
Don't cheat, people. Don't cheat. That's not cool. Yeah, that's a little fuck up we had. And I also just want to follow up because we kind of ripped on Mass Effect Andromeda last week, and I think that's warranted because it came out and it didn't do so well.
Yeah, I mean, besides the massive amount of animation glitches, which we already know about from beforehand, it's getting ripped on a lot for the writing. it's getting ripped on a lot for the characters and their personalities. And overall, I mean, it's some of the things that made the game great was definitely the writing in the game, and it's falling short. I heard it's great in terms of it builds awesome environments, and the game looks great in the Frostbite engine, but I mean, a lot of games look great nowadays, but it's one of the things that set Mass Effect apart was that writing aspect. And they even said they came out with sort of like a corporate little tweet about, oh, we know you guys love the game and we appreciate your critique, which is essentially would speak for, yeah, we messed up and we're going to probably release a patch to fix a lot of these things. So
it's a shame.
Yeah.
They completely tarnished the series with this one game.
Oh well. I mean, I'm going to be honest, I have avoided getting this game for the fact that it's not getting positive reviews. Which, honestly, I mean, leading into some of the stories we're going to talk about later, there's a lot of good games coming out right now. In these next, like past month and the next 2 months, there's a lot of good games coming out. So, yep.
This year's been like super packed. I can't even sleep that much anymore because I'm playing games all the time and I still can't get through everything.
Yeah. 900 Korok seeds don't collect themselves, so I mean, you gotta get them somehow.
Someone please come and help go through an intervention for Albert.
No.
He has been hunting Korok seeds day and night.
Once I get all 900, the world will be right again. Okay. Now with the news!
Now with the news. We totally didn't cut the last minute out. This is hot off the presses. Destiny 2. Well, I guess it was kind of known for a while, but they officially announced it this week. And the best part, it's finally coming to PC.
That's awesome. I'm gonna be honest, I really wanted to play the last Destiny. It looked a lot like kind of just a different version of Borderlands, and I love the Borderlands series in terms of that shooter RPG hybrid. And I know you played a lot, so if you want to talk a little more about like why you love that game so much.
Yeah. So I played both. I played Borderlands and Destiny. And actually I was late to the Destiny hype train, I guess. I bought it a year after it got released.
It wasn't your Destiny is what you're saying.
Oh my god. Get out of here. No, none of this shit.
Okay, sorry for cutting you off.
I heard the vanilla game was really bad, but they started fixing it a lot with the DLC. By the time I jumped in, it was actually a really good game. The only complaint I had was it's very, very grindy. Did you play Diablo 3?
I did not play Diablo 3. But I mean, I was going to relate it back to Borderlands 2, where essentially the end game is farming super rare pearlescent weapons and just running like the same map for like chest runs.
Yep.
And it just gets really grindy for loot. And I assume that it has like boss mobs that you have to fight and stuff like that.
Yeah, they had boss mobs. They had raids.
Oh, okay. That's something definitely that Borderlands didn't have.
Yeah, and the raids were really, really hard. Well, there was an easy mode and a hard mode, and it saved progress for the weekend at reset weekly. But the hard mode, basically, if you didn't have a dedicated team, it was pretty difficult to get through. And the fact that there's no matchmaking for raids made it even harder.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, Borderlands was kind of the same way. I mean, they had that one, I forget the name of it. It was like that mountaintop where you unlock like the plus modes. Like the +1, you go to +9 or whatever. Does Destiny kind of do that, or is it just the difficulty of the raid is the same?
No,
it's just really hard.
No, yes. The difficulty is the same.
Okay, so it's just really hard.
Yes,
you don't have to like add false extra like modifiers or something.
No, they had this thing called Nightfall. I forget what the word was, but basically it was a weekly rotation of not raids, but they called them strikes. It was a smaller raid, I guess. Took about 30-40 minutes, and every week they would add 4 modifiers. And if you beat it, then you got a bunch of legendary currency.
So it kind of reminds me of StarCraft 2 with their modifier thing, the jigs that they did.
Yeah, it was very similar to that.
Okay. It was mutations in StarCraft 2, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's pretty cool. They'll probably expand on that, hopefully. Are there any gripes that you'd like fixed? Or is it mainly like grind, or...
They need to add more emotes.
Emotes? Whoa! Incoming microtransactions.
The emotes in that game are amazing. You should just look it up on YouTube, but they're fucking hilarious. And they added masks all the time for your guardians, and I think during Halloween they had like a jack-o'-lantern one. For Valentine's Day they had some pretty funny armor sets. Like they did events really, really well.
Oh, okay. So Bungie really cares for this game, which is great. I'm going to move on to our next story then, which is Game Freak is recruiting for a new console project, and it's a console project. And as we know, Game Freak, the developers of Pokemon, and in their advertisement, they specifically said that you will be working on a production of an RPG game that is popular on a global scale. I wonder what game that could be.
I know exactly what it is.
Okay, give it. Let me hear.
Yeah, it's called Horse Jockey Solitaire. I don't know if you played it.
World famous.
But that is a Game Freak game that they recently made for the 3DS.
Oh my goodness.
And I am so excited that they're going to make a RPG version of Horse Jockey Solitaire.
Okay, all jokes aside.
Yes.
It's Pokemon. Game Freak is developing a new game, most likely for the Switch. Which is going to blow my freaking mind. Because, I'm going to say right now, they... On the Sun and Moon for the 3DS, I only have the old 3DS. You only have the old 3DS as well. Well, the 3DS XL.
No, I have all 3DS models.
Oh, you have all of them? Okay, well, I played it on the original 3DS XL. And it actually has frame drops in a Pokemon game. When you bike through the first town on the first island, the frame drops really bad. As well as the Z moves. They frame drop really bad. So
Z moves are really, really bad.
I'm interested to see where they'll take it. Something I'm also interested is whether it'll be a mainline Pokemon game or if it'll be like a Pokemon Stadium 2 or something. It said famous RPG franchise or game, but I mean that could just be the Pokemon franchise is what they're referring to, but not necessarily it's going to be a new Pokemon game.
No, but
the other thing...
An RPG game. They're going to make an RPG, right? So it's going to be Pokemon XD, Gale of Darkness.
Horse Solitaire
Jockey.
2. The other thing is will it be a new game, or will it be there were rumors speculating that they were going to make a Sun and Moon remake for the Switch with HD graphics or something. And they were thinking, someone said they were going to merge them together, like add all the Pokemon for both games and call it like Eclipse, because Sun, Moon, and then have Eclipse as this version. But we will wait and see. All I know is I'm super excited. I think I don't know when it's coming out, but in between, essentially, I'm thinking of Switch launch lineup here. It's not really launch, but Switch lineup here for the 2017. Kind of have Splatoon in the summer. I mean, we got ARMS coming in the spring, Splatoon in the summer, and then it's all the way holiday until Mario Odyssey. So if they could release in fall a Pokemon game for the Switch, I anticipate Nintendo having a very good 2017.
There's no way. If their fucking job posting came out now, there's no way they can get a game out.
Yeah, I guess I'm being a little optimistic. Okay, it might be like next fall or something. But yeah, pretty cool stuff.
I'm pretty excited. I actually hope it's a remake of what was it?
Sun and Moon?
Diamond and Pearl? That's what?
Diamond Pearl. Ooh. Okay. I actually never played those, so I would buy that in a heartbeat. I wonder how they would do it, because they've been doing it with the DS for so long, how they would transition to Pokemon with only one screen. I mean, I guess they've always had the old games that were only on one screen, so just go to that old model.
I wonder if it's gonna be some fucked up like gameplay experience where they require you to buy this extra add-on for the Switch, so it can display to the monitor and you play on the handheld. What's next? We have GameStop is shutting down 150 stores, which is not surprising because I personally have started buying all my games digitally.
Yeah, same
And
here.
GameStop, fuck them. I went to buy Super Mario Maker last year, I guess.
The other
And-
year.
the other decade.
Okay.
And they only had it used, and do you know how much it was used?
$50?
$55.
What?
What?
What was this during like launch, or when was this?
No, this was in November last year.
Oh, and that game came out like early last year, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I
Wow.
don't care when it came out. $55 for a used game?
You
Come
can
on, guys.
literally buy if you pre-ordered it on Amazon, it literally would have been cheaper than buying that used game. The only thing, I've never bought a game at GameStop. I've only bought peripherals. So I bought some extra Joy-Cons, and I bought a Wiimote a long time ago at GameStop. I've never bought a game at GameStop because it's too much, and honestly, other than console games, it's just so much more convenient to have on digital distribution like Steam or Origin or something.
Yeah, just because, like, even for the Switch or your DS, because I don't want to carry around 30 cartridges.
Mm-hmm.
I just want them all there.
And I mean, it's not necessarily... I think it's also due to the fact there seems to be a lot of GameStops. Like, there's a giant mall near where I live, and there's 2 GameStops in one mall, which is
Why?
weird. Yeah, so I wonder if it's one of those, or if it's just kind of sales are actually down. I mean, what was it last year? It was the giant UK game retailer that shut down pretty much, right? But yeah, I remember the stories going up that one shut down a bunch of stores, or even like went out of business or something. So
Well, it's funny because GameStop's software sales went down 20%, which is a lot. But their hardware sales went down 30%.
yeah,
That's crazy.
interesting that the hardware sales are down actually.
Yeah, by the way, GameStop blamed underwhelming AAA titles in their earnings report. They literally blamed the game developers for their bad sales.
Your games aren't good enough.
It's not our
Yeah,
fault.
that's pretty garbage.
Yeah.
I've heard horror stories from employees too about having to fill quotas and meet quotas and stuff like that, where it's not run by some great people. Let's just put it that way. It's been getting a lot of complaints, but it's gotten bad enough where players in For Honor, the game that came out last month, are now protesting and not playing the game due to the ridiculous price or time required to unlock content within the game. So, essentially, everything in For Honor is able to be unlocked via time, but it can take up to 50 hours per character to unlock everything for a character.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, as with games nowadays, you can pay to unlock it immediately. However, to unlock all of the content, not microtransactions, in the game is about $700.
Oh, that's good.
So players are pissed at Ubisoft, saying that they made all of this take so long and that no players would want to do it, so that they would have to pay money. And this is already a $60 AAA title. That's the thing. This thing already costs $60. And now they want players who don't have enough time to pay even more to unlock things.
$700 is like, you can buy a new computer.
Yeah, and just some figures on this. The player base on Steam in the past 2 weeks has gone down 50%. So
Oh, shit.
Ubisoft needs to act, and in regards to that, their developer, one of the directors of the game, actually went on their, I forget what they call it, their Warriors Den weekly live stream is kind of their Ubisoft weekly thing.
Okay.
And he was describing that, no, we're not trying to get money out of the players or whatever. This is on purpose. We want these unlocks to be on purpose. And unfortunately, one of the dumbest things is when they got questioned on why it takes so long to unlock everything in the game, his response was, quote, "We never expected that there would be players who want to unlock all of the content in the game. We like collecting everything." And that's been a thing in the game industry forever. That's why they made achievements, right? Because people like getting things, and and getting 100% and all that glorious. I don't want to say overhyped, but like not needed stuff. So, and then he continued and said perfectly fine, quote, everything is grindable. And going off what Tristan just said, like, about Destiny 1, we don't like grinding. It's not fun. So,
I love his comment, because it's like, hey, we want to make a good game for you guys so you can, get through everything. Oh, but at the same time, we don't think you'll get through everything. But if you do want to get through everything, then you just grind it, question mark?
Yep.
What okay.
And I think that was an early thing because actually today, an update came out, and the currency to unlock things, they increased them across various things, like just playing matches in general, doing your daily things, you get even more, and the currency's called steel. They increased all of those amounts, so I think they're finally seeing. I mean, whether it's due to the fact that they're noticing that maybe it was a little too high, or maybe they're noticing that the player base is dropping, so they need to do something immediately. But they've increased the rewards, kind of your daily rewards for the currency in game.
How long until it goes free to play?
Oh,
3 months.
I give it by the end of the year probably.
Okay.
I would say that they're going to stick with it, and my reason for that is I look at Rainbow Six Siege, and that game, the player base definitely dwindled, but they've been keeping it so well supported that it's actually gone up again. The player base is healthy and strong. So, I mean, I think they're going to try to stick with it. I definitely think they need to make changes, and they are making changes. And I've heard, this is a little unrelated to the microtransaction models, but I've heard for the past 2 weeks, there's been a very overpowered class. The Peacekeeper, I think it is.
In For Honor?
Yeah, and it's so game-breaking that there have been many tournaments that have banned it from playing that character because it's so overpowered. And they haven't done anything with that for about 2 weeks, but I heard today that balance patch along with those in-game currency patch came out. So they're working on it. I mean, we'll see how it goes. If it's not successful, I expect it to go free to play within a year. I mean, it already seems like it's designed to be free to play. Unfortunately, they steal those $60 from everyone, and now they already have all the pricing and everything ready. So we'll have to see how that goes.
Speaking of money, it turns out that Super Mario Run did not actually meet the profit expectations that Nintendo was aiming for. Which is slightly expected because Nintendo seems to not understand that when you build up hype, you should release everything at the same time. They fucked up NES Classic, they fucked up Fire Emblem, and obviously they fucked up Super Mario Run, where they only let 10 people play their games. Okay, hey, here's the NES Classic. We're gonna make $1 billion of them. No, just kidding. We only made 100, and we don't have enough supply to make more. And we're wondering why we only made $100.
Yeah. Well, essentially, I mean, in case people don't know what you're talking about, they released the iPhone version of the game back in December, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And just last week, or was it this week? Last week, they released the Android version. And I mean, a mobile game like that, 3 months later, all the hype has died down for your game.
Yeah, and they released Heroes fairly recently, I guess. So it's like they're cannibalizing their own game.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm confused on what they meant when it didn't meet expectations. I mean, going over the numbers, it said only 5% of players actually bought the game, and it's a $10 game. $10 for a mobile game, first of all.
Right.
But I'm interested to see what the development cost for this game was.
I thought they hired out a third party to do it. Nintendo didn't make it. They partnered with some other company.
Okay. Well,
so maybe that's
even
why.
Then, how much did it cost to get this game?
I don't know. I feel like Nintendo is half in, half out. They want to get into mobile, but they're not doing it properly. A company that does it really well is Square Enix, right? Yep. They release all their old games, and they release new games, which do well. and people are actually excited and download them. Maybe Nintendo just doesn't know how to market for mobile.
Yeah, I think their main problem was a $10 mobile game. I just don't think they understood the mobile market enough.
Mm-hmm.
I think $10 is too much. I think if it was a $5 game, the number of, although it's half as much, I'm pretty sure maybe more than 10% of people would have bought it as opposed to 5%.
Right.
So I think what hit him in the bud was definitely the $5. They also said that they're not going to waver from the paid content rather than the free to play style from this, which I think is a smart choice. I agree with that. I think it's a pretty fun game, but I don't know if it's $10 worth, especially when like you now look at the Nintendo Switch, right? Which is a mobile portable device. It's not a phone, but I mean, some of those, that console has some great games on it, and they're $20, so it's twice as much, and you can get an actual like full-fledged game.
By the way, I'm gonna rant out just a little bit more. Nintendo doesn't know how to do free to play either, because I don't know if you played Fire Emblem Heroes that much, but like if you want to buy a hero, right? First of all, you can't buy a hero; you got to roll a hero.
Packs, all about those packs.
Exactly, and when you want to roll a hero, it costs like 5 orbs, which costs like $3 or something.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's good. I think they're working out the kinks, honestly. I think that maybe in a year they can probably get mobile right. I mean, depending on if they're outsourcing or whatever they're doing with that, then it might be a little harder. But I think they can get their act together. But I think definitely they're shitting the bed pretty hard.
Animal Crossing is their next mobile game, and I love that series. So
I have a feeling that if they can do that right, it'll be really successful. Because that's essentially that game was almost built for mobile devices, right? Like you think of the games now where it's like it's all about the the time-based whatever counters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you have to go to play the game like every couple hours or at least once a day. Literally, Animal Crossing was built to be played on portable devices like that. So I think we'll have to see how that goes. Have they released pricing details of that? Is it going to be free? Is it going to cost money? I don't think they've...
No, they haven't talked about it at all.
Okay, yeah.
Fingers crossed, though.
Would you rather have it be free or paid?
Just pick a good game.
You'll pay for it regardless. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So this week was actually quite heavy on news. We have a lot of stuff left, but I don't think we want to spend too much time. So this is what I thought up of. I'm gonna read the headline and maybe one sentence describing it, and you're gonna say one word about how you feel, just off the top of your head. Don't think. All right, ready?
Sure.
And I'm gonna randomize the order, so you don't know what I'm gonna say. Persona 5 gets 94% on Metacritic.
One word. Amazing.
Okay. StarCraft Remastered announced coming out in the summer.
Nostalgia.
JonTron is cut from ukulele after being racist.
Dumbass.
Okay, true. Call of Duty going back to World War II.
Oh man, I want to say more than one word here. More than one word, but I can't.
Say more than one word then.
I wanted to say Battlefield 1 much? Going back to the past?
I was just thinking copycat.
Oh, okay. Well, did you want to comment on any of those? That was just me spouting words more than one at times.
I think all these make me excited.
Really?
That's all
COD?
I'll say. COD, yeah.
JonTron being cut?
Yep. I just love news.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. So, these are definitely great changes.
Now comes the time of the show where we pick an old game. Here is a hint. I think you'll get it instantly.
Okay, so the game is Portal 1. Easy. Wow, interesting. We talked about Portal earlier, too.
No. I'm gonna take a detour. Okay. Give me 2 minutes to explain this. You remember 2 weeks ago I said I have this fantastic idea for episode 2?
Okay.
I was gonna do a little bit where I sneak in every single line of Still Alive into the podcast.
Oh, God.
And then, right when I said this was a triumph at the beginning, you said, hey, that sounds like Portal. I was like, motherfucker.
I'm too good at this. I'm too good at this.
So
Just like, oh my god.
Thanks for not letting us get on new and noteworthy on iTunes.
Oh my god. I'm too good at this. I swear to God.
Would have been good.
That was that was not subtle though. Saying this is a triumph.
That's true. I don't even know what that word means.
That's aren't those the first lines of the song?
Yeah. I mean.
Yeah. Okay. That's too easy.
What would I even say? Here, I have the lyrics right beside me.
You gotta be like, except the ones who are dead.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to come up with a bit for next time. Anyways, Portal 1 released October 9th, 2007. Here's a little quiz since you're so good.
Okay.
Developer.
Valve Software. Or Valve?
Valve Corporation, but...
Valve Corporation!
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Publisher.
Ooh. It was Valve on the PC, and I think at the time EA was publishing the Orange Box on console.
Oh my god. You are fucking on top of shit!
Okay, keep going. Is that it?
Metacritic score.
Oh, but it's Orange Box? Are you counting the Orange Box? Orange Box did really well. I'm pretty sure Orange Box, I remember looking at a few, I think it was like 92 or something.
Orange Box was 96.
Oh, okay. So did Portal get its own score?
Portal had its own score on...
Okay.
Pull this from Wikipedia.
I'm gonna say like a 93 then. 93, 94? 90? That might be too high.
90?
Oh, 90.
I should just let you finish. Fuck.
Okay.
Well,
I was gonna say that might be a little too high, because I was gonna say probably what carried it to that height was or like the Orange Box score, because that was 96, was Half-Life 2 getting like 97 overall or 98 overall or whatever it was. So, and then Team Fortress 2 did pretty well too, but not that amazing. Anyways, Portal Uno.
Portal Uno. It is a first-person puzzle platform video game that I'm pretty sure everyone has played. Albert, take it away. What are your thoughts?
What are my thoughts? It was, I mean, in my experience, it was the first-person puzzle game I ever played. I'm just gonna say right off the bat, for a game that was an add-on game to the Orange Box, I was kind of like, hey, here's this 2 to 3 hour thing we've been working on, and we didn't really have time to make a full game, but we're going to put it in because we think it's fun. Everyone it was like the surprise hit of the Orange Box. And the Orange Box released with Half-Life 2 Episode 2 and Team Fortress 2 at the same time, which is crazy for 3 amazing games, and that one comes along with it and stands toe-to-toe or even better than it. It was a great game. The humor was awesome. The puzzles were mind-bending at the time. I mean, they're still good puzzles, but I mean, like, Portal 2 did a lot better in terms of the puzzle design and the mechanics. But overall, it was a freaking amazing game, man. It made me laugh a lot. First time I could say a game actually made me laugh a lot.
First time a video game made me feel happy inside.
Made me feel emotions.
I'm making a note here. Huge success. It's hard to overstate.
Do you know the history behind how Portal was made?
I do not. I do not know the history behind Portal was made.
Wait, are you just like joking so we can have a scripted show, or do you actually not know?
I actually do not know.
Okay, so DigiPen Institute of Technology, a bunch of students there, they made a freeware game named Narbacular Drop.
Oh yes, I remember. Okay, now it's starting to come back together.
And Robin Walker, praise Robin Walker, he saw that game at the career fair, and he's like, holy shit, we need to get them in. So they showed Gabe Newell, and Gabe Newell just hired their entire team on the spot.
That's very like Valve sounding, with their corporate culture of bring in like mod developers and all that stuff.
There's a lot of stuff from the original game that they kept. So like it was like a more of a medieval theme, and the portals. Actually, this is a big gameplay difference. In the final game, you cannot shoot portals through a portal, right?
Yes.
But in their original freeware game, you could actually do that.
Oh, that's trippy.
I think would have made for a much, much harder game.
the puzzles could definitely be a lot more complicated.
Mhm.
Definitely something I didn't say earlier, which like blew my mind as a kid when I played this game, was the conservation of momentum when you go through portals, and I was like, what? What? So that was a cool feature in the game.
Yeah, speedy thing goes in, speedy thing comes
Speedy
out.
Comes out. Yes,
It's a pro life tip.
Don't tell them that this podcast didn't teach you about life at all. Anyways, I don't know if it's in your notes. Am I allowed to just free ball here? Can I just?
Yeah, free ball.
Can I
I'll
just say
find it. I'll find it.
Like, are you trying to think that Quantum Conundrum was in your notes? Because it wasn't. Anyways, I literally forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, the coolest thing about this game now, in my opinion, is the speed runs in this game. They are just bonkers. Like, in terms of the glitch runs and the crazy things they do. Oh my goodness.
I mean, the thing we just talked about not being able to shoot portals through portals, speedruns basically abuse that, right?
Pretty much do that, yeah. They like pixel like kind of edge through a portal and then they shoot one and it's oh my goodness. Not to mention, I mean, there's also like the use of like the Havoc physics engine where they do the crouch jump thing and they can like jump on a prop, but whatever.
I watched a lot of videos while I was researching, and there's a lot of weird stuff that people try to do in this game. One is trying to get themselves locked into a room. So did you know you could get yourself locked in the first level of the game?
Into the sleeping chamber?
No, not the sleeping chamber. The chamber right after it, where there's like one block and one button and a door.
Okay.
Basically, people like take the radio out, prop the block on it, open the door, and if you close the door on the cube in a specific way, it like shoots it out.
What the?
and then you get stuck in the room forever.
Oh my goodness.
And there's like a bunch of challenges where people try to get them stuck in. Try to get themselves stuck in every chamber. I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
People are weird. People are weird. I mean, after a little bit of talk, though, I think there's an elephant in the room.
Yep,
and that's,
okay.
Was there actually cake in the game? Do you have notes on this?
No, because the cake is a lie. Finger guns.
Okay, well, not necessarily. So, just some background knowledge that I know was in the final cutscene there is cake, and in one of the levels, if you no-clip out of the level and go to like a really far away corner in the map, there is the room where that cutscene is filmed, and there is a table with the fabled cake on it.
But have you eaten it?
I mean, in real life, I've eaten cake.
Have you
or was it? Oh
cake?
No! Oh no!
Is every cake a lie?
Oh no! It's actually pie. Everything's just a big pie.
It's funny because there was an interview with what's his name, the story guy, Walpaw? Yeah.
Eric?
Yes, and he was talking about all the memes that came out of the game, which include GLaDOS, the companion cube, right? The weighted companion cube, and cake is a lie. And they were actually really, really disappointed at the memes.
Really?
Because they specifically added something to the game that they thought would become a meme, but nobody saw it, basically.
Oh, what was it?
So when the game ends, and like the Aperture Labs blows up,
yeah,
and you're outside.
Yep.
There's like a hoop that kind of rolls by.
Yep.
And everyone in the dev team named it like Hoopy.
What the?
No, this is a quote. This is a quote.
Give it to me.
Walpaw was like, yeah, I'm really sad that people did not pick up on it. But out of respect, they added Hoopy to Portal 2. Hoopy's everywhere within Aperture Science if you look for him.
That's it? Come on, they had a cube with a heart on it that you have to destroy. I had emotional attachments to that inanimate object. I didn't care about Hoopy.
Aperture science. We do what we must because we can. For the good of all of us.
They said Way to Companion Cube was kind of based off of when Walpole read some declassified government interrogation thing, that's exact words, where isolation led to subjects being attached to inanimate objects, kind of like Castaway, I guess.
That's true, and it's kind of scary now that I think about it.
Wait, why?
Like how I liked that cube and I didn't want to kill it. It was my friend. It helped me escape.
It talked to me.
Exactly. Yeah. Huh. I guess we'll have to make Hoopy a thing now.
Yep,
Or
Hoopy's
more
a
of
thing.
a thing.
I mean, this is a quote directly from Walpaw. We thought we should have a warehouse full of Hoopy t-shirts and mugs and posters. We would watch that hoop roll by over and over again.
Oh my god.
That was the part of the game we were most proud of, and nobody cared. I can't tell if this interview's a joke or not.
I can't tell. He's like a writer, so he could definitely make like troll things like that.
So, do you know? So, Portal uses a texture map that's very similar to like the dev textures in TF2, right?
You mean in terms of just like being really bland and plain?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, now I know what you mean. For some reason you said dev textures, and all I could think was purple checkerboards. I was like, wait.
No.
I was like, oh, the dev, like the squares, the perfectly sized unit squares.
The orange.
Yes.
Orange squares.
Yes.
The orange box.
So, oh god, I knew you were gonna. I was just about to say that too.
Tease it in there. And the reason was not because they had like the lab setting all fleshed out. It was mostly because testers spent a lot of time kind of like looking at the environment that did nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So they got even more confused.
Mm-hmm.
Like they didn't even know where to put the portals and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they just ended up ripping out all the mats.
Oh,
making it all white.
So then it's like it doesn't attract your attention toward a specific thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they brought it into the thing where it's the white walls you can shoot and the black walls are not or non-portal surface. I don't know what to call it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think I even got confused near the end of the game, right? When it starts blending color in.
Yeah.
And just like, where the fuck do I go?
Yeah, because it turns into like you're outside of the stages, right?
Mm-hmm.
Essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to sidetrack a little bit, but it definitely happened a lot more in Portal 2 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Colors is bad. There's actually a really nice video on the use of color in Portal 1.
Mm-hmm.
I'll link it into the description. I'll send it to you afterwards. But it's a really good kind of op-ed on how they use colors.
Was it is it like a designer or someone, or is it from someone from Valve, or?
No, it's not someone from Valve, but it's like I think he's a filmmaker.
Okay. That's cool.
So it's really nice. So, the GLaDOS boss fight.
I was not expecting a boss fight. Well, kind of expecting, but not exactly.
Mm-hmm. So they had 3 supposed iterations of that boss fight before they got to the one they have in the final game. Mm-hmm. Let's start with, did you even like the final version of the boss fight they had?
I mean, I mixed feelings on it. I thought it was okay. I mean, I thought it was okay. I think about it now, and I'm like, okay, let's be honest. With a puzzle game with portals, you don't have like an actual weapon. Like that's about as creative a boss fight as you really kind of could have made. So I thought it was fine for what it did. I definitely thought it wasn't a main point of the game. Definitely the puzzles before were definitely a bigger portion of the game. But I mean, they needed to have an ending of some sort, so you got to put an ending like that. So I thought it was fine.
Okay. I personally did not like it at all. I thought it was really not fun.
Ouch.
The puzzle portion was okay, I guess, question mark. But, I don't know. I thought the pacing was not that great. But here, it could have been worse. Number 1, GLaDOS was not even a robot. She was a cube.
She was the companion cube.
She was the companion cube all along. And to kill her, you had to direct lasers at the cube.
Oh god, it's like Portal 2.
Mm-hmm. So, not fun.
Not fun.
Scrap that idea. iteration 2, they called it their Mortal Kombat stab. And
What?
Yep, basically there was like missiles flying around, turrets spawning everywhere, a firefight.
What?
So maybe he had a gun.
Oh God! Shell
so-
gets angry, gets a gun. What did I find in here?
So Wallpaw said that also sucked. So I believe him. And no, actually, I don't believe him because he was.
Because he
gushing
made
about Hoopy the
Hoopy. Because he made Hoopy.
I want to make the episode picture for this episode Hoopy.
Hoopy.
In dedication of Hoopy.
In dedication of the great meme that could have been.
Mm-hmm. And finally, for the last iteration or the third iteration, they had a chase sequence, which
Oh.
would have been really bad. I feel.
Yeah. Agreed. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think about it. Because, I mean, it's kind of cool that you can, in terms of the pacing of the game, I don't know if it would have worked because the puzzles, you never really had a time limit. I mean, they had a time limit on the last boss, right? Because the poison gas or whatever.
Right.
But I don't think it would have worked as well. I think it was a fine ending for what it did. And once again, this was kind of like an add-on game, right?
Right.
So, I wasn't expecting a super mega, like, AAA thing at the end. I mean, this was just kind of a cool side project that they brought in the devs and then put it in, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you know that the White House teamed up with Valve for a digital learning program, and they used Portal as an educational tool?
Oh, I did. Yes. I remember. This was a while ago, though, right?
This is retro games, man.
Because yeah, I remember Gabe Newell talking about that in a interview that he did with a high school, and someone asked him about the education of video games, and he said that it was a cool kind of project they did. I don't really know how far it went, but I know that it happened.
Basically, they just use it as a tool to teach physics. Obviously, Speedy thing goes in.
Speedy thing?
Goes out.
Oh, these are your physicists of the futures, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm. That's our motto. And actually, it's interesting because not only did did they team up with the White House, but there were a lot of colleges that actually required students kind of to study Portal, not because of its physics aspect, but a lot of the storytelling aspects around it was kind of unique for that time.
Oh, really?
Yes. So there was a college, Wabash College. It was a seminar. It was a prereq to get into a seminar.
Where prereq to get into a seminar. Wow.
Yeah. Where they study classic and contemporary works. So.
Oh. And they wanted to examine the writing.
Yeah, they bundled it with like Aristotle, Hamlet, and Portal.
Oh, the great classics of the time.
the classic trio. As they
have you ever heard of The Tale of Hoopy? Because I heard it's a thriller.
He was quite underrated. Why they actually decided to make Portal was, I don't know if you know this game called Half-Life.
I don't know what that is. Yeah, you should tell me about that.
It's on the same level as Hoopy the Hoop, to be honest.
Oh, so it's kind of this failed meme. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And they were releasing episodic content, episode 1, 2, and 3, which totally came out. And they thought Portal was a good ad because Portal is technically an episodic content lengthwise, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they decided to go for it instead of, spending $50 million and making Half-Life 3.
Or spending $40 million and making Mass Effect Andromeda. Ouch. I'm sorry, that's too soon.
Still did better than Hoopy the Hoop.
That's true. We should do an analysis of the formation of memes and what catches and what doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And explain why Hoopy went wrong.
So the game actually sold really well. Not surprising.
I mean the game, or do you mean the orange box itself?
Both. I think.
Okay.
So they sold 4 million units outside of Steam.
Oh, wow.
They don't have numbers inside of Steam, but it does. Actually, no, this is something else. Yeah, they don't have numbers inside of Steam, but I'm pretty sure it's a lot. Eventually, in 2010, when Steam came out for Mac, they gave the game out for free.
Yes.
And I think it says in the first week, 1.5 million copies were downloaded.
Wow.
But,
well, I mean, I think about sales sold, and actually, I mean, Half-Life 2 was the first game to like push out Steam big time, but I would say the Orange Box was another one of the Valve games that definitely started pushing out Steam to consumers. So I wouldn't say in 2007 the user base of Steam was huge.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you include the sales from this game 2007 is what you said, right?
Yep.
To now, like, yeah, it's probably sold a lot more, or at least gotten for free or whatever. And I mean, I think they've done it for free a few times, right?
Yeah. In September of 2011, I mean, 2011 is a while ago. They just like gave it out for free right before school started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I mean, they've been giving it away a lot. So, oh yeah, actually, that's a great point. The song "Still Alive" was pretty popular as well, right? It hit like meme status basically.
I mean, that pretty much made Jonathan Coulton's career past that.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the songwriter, composer, a composer, right, of the song.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The song was really popular, and everyone just started playing it on like different types of instruments. I remember there was a video of like people like etching stuff into a metal sheet, and it made different notes. They played the song using that. People played it with like floppy drive discs.
Yeah, that song got really popular.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to think of like, and it was kind of a perfect end for the game too, because the game was not supposed to be like a serious game, and you end it with a funny song about kind of a retrospective.
Oh. Yeah, it was a good ending, and it's kind of sad because they couldn't really follow it up in the second game. I think the second game did have a song.
It did. Oh, I don't remember it at all though. See, that just shows you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't remember. All I remember from the second game was that weird orchestra of the turrets, and that was really funny.
Oh, that was really funny.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think we should end this off with a little bit of teaser for Portal 2, a game that has not hit its 10-year mark yet. Did you know that Valve went back and patched Portal 1 when Portal 2 was coming out? They changed the final scene of Portal 1 to make it kind of not have continuity errors.
Oh, that's right. They show her getting dragged away or something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, they showed her like getting dragged off by some mysterious robot. It was like a robot noise, right?
A party associate.
Oh,
that's what they called him.
That's right. The second game had the party.
Mm-hmm. This was back when Valve actually cared about making good games with story.
I think what you mean is this is when Valve actually made video games.
I gotta give my final thoughts first because I don't think I really gave my opinion. Really good game. The first game I bought for the PC physically ever.
Really?
Yes.
Wait, physically ever?
Yes.
Like, what do you mean? Like a hard copy of the Orange Box?
Yeah. I have never bought a PC game before this game.
What? Oh, wow, that's ridiculous. Okay.
No, I think it was a good change of pace. It made me appreciate the story in games.
Yes.
And pacing and how the game teaches how to play, all that. I think I really appreciate it after I played this game. So
yeah,
give it a 9 out of 10.
A 9 out of 10?
I don't know. I just came up with that. I just saw the Metacritic 90 out of 100, so I just went with
That's not even your rating.
That's not even my rating.
You just stole a rating.
I'm just on the bandwagon.
Oh my god.
Right. Any final thoughts for you about Portal?
Definitely one of the best puzzle games I've played. I mean, I don't know how much research you did on this, but I was just like, in terms of first-person puzzle games, I mean, in my memory, one of the first. I mean, all I can think of in terms of other first-person is like Portal 2, of course, like Antechamber, and then like The Witness.
Yep.
Yeah, so pretty awesome game for coming out with some university students that are just playing around with the concept.
Yeah, we're already past that age.
What age?
The developers were like 20 years old when they made this game.
Oh yeah, we're too old now. We can't be cool with that.
I'm not even angry.
Thanks for tuning in for episode 2 of TRC Podcast. You can find us on SoundCloud, Pocket Cast, Google Music, Stitcher, or iTunes. We would really appreciate if you left us a rating or review, telling us what we did really well, what we could improve on, any games that you want us to do. Basically, any feedback would be really good. We also have social media. We're Podcast TRC on Instagram and Twitter, and TRC Podcast on Facebook. Thanks for tuning in. This is definitely our first take of the ending.
As always, I'm really feeling it.